Okay, I'm back. There was a request for another video, so I'm making another video. The person was asking about dividing monomials when there is not a negative, and I'm assuming they're talking about negative exponents, so that's what I'm going to answer today. We're going to start out really simple. We'll get a little more complex in a minute. A cubed divided by a squared. A cubed, the reason we use exponents like this is to abbreviate the idea that we have three A's, A, and they're all being multiplied together. So A times A times A. We'd hate to write this out every time, right? So we just shorthand it or abbreviate it with this. Now A squared would be A times A. So this is the long way of writing this. Sometimes I like to go a little more complex before I can clean it up and eliminate things. So for today, we're going to write this out like this. Well, now if we're dividing, we can go through and eliminate a couple of things. A divided by A. So if I just had this, A divided by A, anything divided by itself gives us 1. So I'm going to go through, and A divided by A cancels out and gives us 1. But do I have to write out times 1? No, because it's the same thing. So we eliminated those two. A divided by A, again, is going to give us 1. We don't have to write 1. It's the same thing as times 1. I don't know. I can't say that any more simply. So what we're left with is A divided by 1, but A divided by 1 is the same thing as A times 1. This can go away. I don't need to write it. That's just sloppy. So I can ignore that, and it's just A. So if I take away this step, A cubed divided by A squared just equals A. All right, so maybe you understood how to do that. I'm going to do another one that's a little more complex and brings in a second variable. Let's go back to purple. Let's do something really crazy. Let's do 8 A to the 4th times B to the 2nd, I'm trying to make it complicated in my head, divided by 2A, let's just do 2A, and then B to the 3rd. Ooh, just got interesting, all right? So let's write this out again. We leave the numbers the way they are, so I'm just going to copy them over. 8. A to the 4th is the same thing as A times A times A times A times A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Times B times B. Ooh, gotta make my bar a little bit longer. I'm getting ready to run off the screen. And then this 2 stays the same. A, there's no exponent, so it's just a single lonely little A. And then times B times B times B. 3. B to the 3rd. Okay? So now let's start eliminating some things. I'm going to come down here, okay? Change colors. 8 is on top, and 2 is on the bottom. What's 8 divided by 2? I hope you said 4. 4, and is it 1/4, or is it a whole 4? Right, it's a whole 4. So 4 is going to stay up there, right? 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 is going to stay in our numerator. Can we eliminate anything? This A matches up with this A. So we're going to cancel those out. That goes away. Turns into 1. So it basically becomes invisible. Are there any other A's that I can cancel this A out with? No. So all 3 of these A's are going to stay. And it's A times A times A. So it's A cubed. I can write this little multiplication symbol in there if I want, but you don't have to. Then, so we've just gotten rid of these by rewriting it here. Now let's go over to the B's. So this little b can cancel out with this little b. They go away. Then we've got this little b and this little b. They're going to cancel out. There's one lonely little bee. And is he living upstairs? To shout back to my old video, is he going to live upstairs or downstairs? Well, he's in the denominator. We can't just willy-nilly move him up to the numerator. So he's going to stay down here. Okay? So that's the answer. That's how we would divide them out. Now, if your teachers are wanting you to use negative exponents, flashing back to my other video, I can't believe I have 2 videos. That's so weird. Anyway, the B, if we wanted to move him upstairs, he's going to be cranky about living upstairs, right? Because he's happy living down here. He's a positive exponent right now. We would have to make him negative. So he would become B to the negative 1. Now that's only if your teachers wanted you to be using negative exponents. So that's the same thing as what we just had written, which is 4a cubed over b. This is the same thing. I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, will you just write me another message and I can hop on and make another video? Okay.